Good evening, and welcome to an Amonkhet draft. We've got one of the best cards in the format, Glorybringer. This dragon comes in, Flame Tongue Kavu style, and destroys a creature. Pretty hard to beat. So it's always nice to open with a powerful bomb rare, and all you can do is take it and realize what you might be passing to the next person. Trial of Ambition, Vizier of Tumbling Sands. This trial has gone up in my estimation because it isn't all that good if it only ever made your opponent sacrifice one thing, but any cartouche makes the effect just multiply, and any spare removal can sort of limit what they can sacrifice. Cartouche of Strength, another good one, and those are the three that stand out here. Aven Initiate, the embalm cost is so high that it's really just a 3/2 flyer most of the time, but it does have that upside. Okay, so the person passing to us is taking their time. Oh, that was excited for a second. The black Glorybringer. But let's see. We might take Baleful Ammit, although Electrify is some powerful removal too. Baleful Ammit, Trial of Knowledge, Bitterblade Warrior, and for us, I believe it's Electrify here. We don't want to commit to a second color right away when we haven't seen many picks, and we do want to cut red, because that is a color we're most likely to play here. Even if it's not particularly open in this pack, if we can cut it at all, and it becomes open in pack 2, we should get enough to justify this powerful card here. Sometimes when it takes this long for the cards to pass, the person passing is disconnected, but that doesn't appear to be the case here. And if it's a close pick, it could take some time to really think about it. Okay, Nefkrop Entangler is aggressive. Minotaur Sure Shot may be a better card, but the 3-drops are more plentiful in red. You can get the Lizard or some more of this guy. So they're both solid picks. Now, since 2-drops are harder to come by, especially in red, it looks like the Nefkrop Entangler is a clear pick here. Passing some more black and white. I've never read the flavor text on this thing. What the initiates face in the final trial is completely at Hazaret's discretion. Yeah, I guess not all of them make it past this guy. Enigma Drake. Well, I wouldn't have imagined we'd go into blue after picking Glorybringer, after our first 3 picks even. But that is an Enigma Drake, and it's a 4th pick Enigma Drake, so maybe people are staying away from this color combination, and we can put our foot in here and take this Enigma Drake. It's the highest upside of any card here, and we already have an Electrify, so we can keep on the lookout for more cards that work well with it. New Perspectives. This card is... I like this card. It is a little slow. If we have a powerful deck filled with removal, it does get better. Otherwise, we're looking at Pathmaker Initiate or Compelling Argument for a card to discard. And neither of those are exciting this early. 5th pick, not super early, but they're not the kind of cards that make the deck that much stronger. Alright, Cryptic Serpent. That's another kind of build around here. We only have the Electrify, but getting a bunch of serpents and dragons and drakes that all work well with removal means we can prioritize the spell cyclers and just first pick Magma Spray if we get it. Now, Enigma Drake, another one. So this draft really is coming down to it. Blue-red may be the best deck in the format if you can get it, and it's really being passed to us. Let's see how many Enigma Drakes we can get. I wouldn't pick it over a second Glorybringer, but I'd probably pick it over anything else. Magma Spray aside. Evolving Wilds, not as important here as Winds of Rebuke. It'd be sad to mill one of our Glorybringers. But if we do happen to mill a spell, then that is some upside with our Drakes. Okay, cool. We wheel Hieroglyphic Illumination, which is a much better 1-mana cycler than Ceradon when you have 2 Enigma Drakes in your deck. What else? Zenith Seeker does... I saw this in the finals once of a competitive draft, and it was a strange deck, but let's see. We can take Fling or Nimble Blade Kenra. The Kenra is generally not a good card. Naga Oracle is pretty good, but none of these cards are great. I'm just going to take the Kenra. And another Cryptic Serpent. Oh wow, not expecting to play the Kenra. Or maybe not even the Nefcrop Entangler at this point. 2 Cryptic Serpents. Watchers of the Dead. We might be tempted to play Stinging Shot, just to cycle it. Sounds crazy, but I mean, it's most likely that we play that. We can take Initiate to cut red. Alright. Can't imagine Pack 2 being much better, but these colors are open, so people will still pass all the good stuff. Wow, Magma Spray, there it is. Easy first pick. In a format that of embalm creatures and low curves, Magma Spray is just the perfect card. And you can team up on something larger to take it down, something troublesome, maybe with Embalm. And the rest of the pack, we could wheel Essence Scatter or Reduce to Rubble. Both of those would be fine in this deck. Come on, oh, no second Magma Spray here. That's a bit of a shame. Prowess with our Soulscar Mage. Not the perfect thing to pick up just yet. I will take Reduce to Rubble. Not an insanely exciting pick, but it gets the job done. That's more like it. Censor. Cycles for 1. Perfect to hold up on turn 2. And nothing bad to say about it. Anytime we can find a spell to make these Cryptic Serpents better, we're happy. Now things get more interesting. Our deck is becoming such a dedicated spell deck that Tormenting Voice looks more appealing than Emberhorn Minotaur. I do tend to go for the gimmicks like this. Those are really the 2 options here. It could still be the Emberhorn Minotaur because something like Tormenting Voice could wheel, and this cuts red a bit more. Floodwaters is another option. Floodwaters here, cycling for 2, and sometimes the bounce is relevant. Yeah, I'm just going to take the Minotaur, though. Sometimes you just have to take the best card, even though it's not in your strategy. It's like, it's not at its best in your strategy. It's still a good card. Bloodlust Inciter can be good in hyper-aggressive decks. Another Watchers of the Dead. We could have a real cat deck here. The Heckma Sentinels is fine, though. Not excited to play it. We may not. It might not make the main deck. We finally get a Minotaur Sure Shot. And the spells are disappearing. So we'll just take random cards at this point. Now this is the pack we're wheeling here. We do find a Reduce to Rubble and a Fling. And a late Aven Wind Guide, so blue is not the most popular color right now. We'll take a Reduced to Rubble. It will usually be good for countering something. Brute Strength, the Cartouche, and Decision Paralysis. Not excited about any of those right now. And the Tormenting Voice comes back. Good deal. So plenty of, strictly playable cards, but to get the real blue-red deck, we can try to get more stuff that really works in the deck. More Magma Sprays. More early Cyclers. Wow, a third Cryptic Serpent. It's tempting here. Now this card could wheel. And someone must be taking some of the early Cyclers, it seems. Yeah, I'm just going to go for it. 3 Cryptic Serpents. Oh no. And another Enigma Drake. Okay, 3 Cryptic Serpents, 3 Enigma Drakes. I really hope we can get another Illumination or something. But I'm too afraid to pass the Drake for Illumination in case it doesn't wheel. I would hate to miss out on another one. Stinging Shot. Yeah, at this point, we could really put in the Mighty Leap and the Stinging Shot. And Gale Strike, perfect. A lot of our deck is playing at instant speed here. We can take a look at our instants. Oh, come on, what about this pack? This pack doesn't have anything for us, except another Forsake the Worldly. Slitherblade is not what you want, since we're pretty much a control deck. Pathmaker Initiate also. Consuming Fervor might be decent on, like, Enigma Drake, but this whole pack is just weak. Not Mighty Leap, what am I thinking? Forsake the Worldly, that's what we want. Alright, given how many spells we have, it's got to just be taking these Cyclers, so Violent Impact. Approach of the Second Sun is kind of cool, but our deck's going to win with damage. Okay, here's a Stinging Shot. This is going to be the strangest deck ever. Yeah, we're going to be a 4-color deck that can't play 2 colors of its cards. Cancel? Yep, just keep slamming the spells. Alright, finally we get a premium Cycler. Nephcrop Entangler, Talkrop Skirmisher. These are ones we hope to upgrade as well. In fact, it might just be better to play Forsake the Worldly than those guys. Alright, here's Winds of Rebuke, another pretty good one. Honed Copish, not exactly what we want. Impalmer's Tools, I kind of want to try this sometime, but the zombie deck is just so heavily drafted that I'd never expect to get it. Alright, let's see. And then this would be like a card you don't need in the deck to win. Honed Copish, whatever. I guess that's fine. Another Cancel and a Naga Oracle. I like the Oracle, it holds up the ground, and it could potentially dig to a Glory Bringer or put some unneeded cards in the graveyard. Alright, the worst of the Cyclers is Haze of Pollen. That might not make the deck. But the rest looks good. Dissenter's Deliverance. One of the cool things this deck can do is play New Perspectives, cycle through a bunch of cards, and then attack with a couple Enigma Drakes for massive amounts of damage. So we'll see if that ever comes up. I'm glad I'm recording this. This is kind of a deck you don't get to see so often. After a typical first pick, we find quite the atypical deck. Alright, so let's take a look at what's really going on here. We have only spells except for 3 Enigma Drakes, 1 Naga Oracle, a Glorybringer, and 3 Cryptic Serpents. In fact, it looks like we need a cut. One of our counter spells could go, or one of our off-color cyclers. And we might as well mix it up here and take out a stinging shot. Sixteen looks right to me. But who knows? I mean, we do have the Naga Oracle and the New Perspectives as card draw. So we don't want to be stuck on 15 and never hit our second land drop. So it looks good. And that's it. The last piece we need is Magic Online won't know what to suggest for our mana curve here. 5, 10, so we're looking at 17, 10. Or really more like 17, 8, since the rubble half of this card is largely irrelevant. Let's see what it suggests. Oh, wow. It didn't suggest white or green. It must have heard me. I'm getting a little creeped out by that. And we wanted pretty even, so 8, 7. Oh. Wow, it really didn't know what to suggest, did it? 8, 7, maybe we can go 8, 8. Although 9, 7. 9, 7 is interesting. I'm going to go 8, 8. Many of the cards we have Cycle, and it's really about hitting our Enigma Drake, not necessarily turn 2 Winds of Rebuke. So let's make this pretties to see what we're dealing with. So that's it. Perfect for a screenshot here, and I'll see you in the matches.